Greetings, brothers and sisters. How are you doing today? I'm your sister SiSi on air. And today we have a special treat, not a musical guest, but our sister who is an OG, Sister India Love. She is here. The last time we spoke with her, she had just given birth, but it's been a little while. So we're going to talk to her about all of her experiences that she's had where in the motherland. She's in Africa. Welcome, sis. How are you doing?
How you doing? Good to be here. Good
Good.
to be
Let's
here.
give you some hand claps today. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for making the appointment to speak with us. All praises to the Most High Yah. So, sis, the last time we spoke with you, you had just had a baby. How long ago was that?
That was almost 2 years ago. He'll be 2 in January.
Okay, so he's running the house now, basically.
Yes. And then, no,
Okay.
seriously, he is. He doesn't operate like a 2-year-old. He's very,
Okay.
very mature and
Okay.
very active.
Okay. Okay. Well, I believe that. Okay, because that's the way it needs to be in these days. We know our children. It's been prophesied that our children would let the old people know what to do, right? So we
Yes.
definitely have to expect that. So I'm all praises to the Most High Yah. So now fast forward, we had spoken with you about the baby, but you had decided, and your family had decided. I saw on Facebook that you were moving to Africa, which is a continent. Tell us specifically what country you had decided to move to.
I am in Tanzania. Tanzania.
Tanzania.
I moved to Dar es Salaam.
Okay. Okay. Tanzania. Now, that is a place that my husband and myself were interested in as well. That is amazing.
Look at
So
that.
talk with us about the decision to move specifically to Tanzania, how the process worked, and what it's like for you right now that you've moved there.
Well, honestly, it was my husband's idea.
Okay.
He had been trying to get us to Africa for quite a while, actually since 2020.
Okay.
But since we was pretty new in our marriage, I think that it probably just wasn't the most highest timing. He
Mm-hmm.
wanted to, get us established in our marriage before we make a move like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So the process, you got to do a lot of research. That's the first thing you want to do. You want to do a lot of research. You want to understand the laws, the customs. You want to learn about like the passports and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that you want to do when it gets close to time to moving, certainly if you can, certain utilities you want to kind of dwindle down on paying. Now, that's not to say you should stop paying your rent and risk eviction, especially if you have a lease or anything. You definitely want to leave with a
Yeah.
clean slate, a fresh
Yeah.
start.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
But you definitely want to do your research, learn the country's laws, and then also, like I said, you want to have a pretty good savings,
Okay.
anywhere from, I would say, 30 to 50,000, just to be sure.
Okay.
Just to be sure.
Okay.
And if you can, even 30,000, taking that leap of faith, the Father will provide for you. He's
Yeah.
going to provide for you wherever you go, right?
That's a word. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And another thing too, do not allow the exchange on the American dollar to fool you. And what I mean by that is the shillings, T shillings is the currency here in Tanzania, right?
Okay.
I think you get 2,700 and another number. So I would say 2,700 for every $1. And that seems good, right?
Well, it sounds like a lot.
It sounds good. And for some things it is, but a lot of people make the mistake of coming over here,
Mm-hmm.
and because the exchange is so cheap, they look for a place, like for instance, 1 million T shillings per month is only 400 and something US dollars, right?
Okay.
Again, sounds good.
Sounds
You
great.
want to get a place, and I'm not talking about just the regular $400 a month is probably a studio apartment at this point. If that, you're probably not gonna find anything for $400 a month. That's a room rent.
Oh,
You know.
yeah.
1 second, I think somebody's calling me. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're okay. So what we are attempting to do, or what we are doing, is making sure that our people know like what they're getting into when they move about um, the world. Like you should know what what to do, what to expect, who to speak with. Even if making a trip to the place before you actually move there. This is the information that we're gathering from our sister because, like I said, just kind of it seemed to me out of the blue, but it's not. Are you back with us? Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. I
Okay.
think there's something in either the children's room or I think they're working on something upstairs, but it's
Oh,
not like somebody's knocking on the door.
okay.
Anyway,
So it'll give you a room
so
for about 400 shillings.
in the United States, $400 probably is a room rental. But
Yes,
here
yes.
in Tanzania, it's
Mhm.
a big house,
Okay.
a big house. And I'm not they usually it's like a compound. So you'll have a big, huge gate. You will
Okay.
have a big, huge house for bedrooms, and then sometimes it even comes with a worker, whether it be a gardener or a
A
housekeeper.
worker.
Yeah. You can
Oh,
live very well off of $400 per month, depending on where you go. Now the economy is being raised up because a lot of the diaspora is coming over this way.
okay.
So be mindful of that.
Mhm.
The point I'm making as far as don't let the exchange fool you is don't be afraid to live a base until you can invest something that's going to bring you Tanzanian money. If you cannot afford it with Tanzanian shillings, you probably shouldn't buy it with American money
Oh,
because you're going to have that dependency. Now,
right.
if you have other avenues of money coming from the United States, absolutely. Long
But
as it's
that's
substantial,
dangerous
long as it's
too.
sustained.
Don't you think that's dangerous too? I mean, people are internet rich, and as we know, like the system is falling. So if you are dependent upon the system, like all this internet money, that's probably not a wise idea, right?
And that you hit it right on the head. That's exactly where I was leaning toward. Like we have to humble ourselves. That's the main thing. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta humble yourself coming over here. Of course, because of the exchange is so cheap, you think, well, shoot, in the States, for a house this size, I would be paying way more.
Mm-hmm.
So I can spend this and do what is feasible. You can find a nice, if you can negotiate a nice house in certain areas
Mm-hmm.
for maybe $150 per month
Mm-hmm.
in American.
Mm-hmm.
That's equivalent to about 300 or 400,000 per T shillings.
Okay.
And you can upgrade things inside of the house. While you live there, you can add different things inside of the house, and then talk to the landlord about subsiding it off of the rent,
Mm-hmm.
because everything's negotiating. You don't want, it's not like a government structure where it's contracts or anything like that. You
Mm-hmm.
will sign off on certain contracts, but for the most part, you dealing with a person and you can negotiate different things. So if you're good at
Okay.
negotiating, you'll do fine here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That
Uh,
makes sense. That
what
makes
else I'm trying to touch on? That's the main thing though. Be willing to be humble. If, like, say for you, is it just you and your husband that's coming?
sense. Well,
If you
yeah, well,
decided to come,
I want to bring
sorry.
everybody. So, like, I'll just say maybe some of our children, maybe 3 adult children or something like that.
Okay,
Mhm,
so with that, you probably want to be able to get a house that will have enough rooms, and
mhm.
then everybody be willing to work as a team. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
they would be willing to work as a team and put themselves together and trust each other in that way. But don't get something, like I said, I've seen a house you can get 2 or 3 bedroom house,
Mhm.
and it was 300,000. That's $128 in USD.
Wow.
Start there.
Can we
Now,
pay
some
the
of the
rent for the
houses,
whole can we just go ahead and pay the rent for the whole year? Just
actually, that's exactly how it works. They don't do month to month here.
oh,
You pay they prefer 6 months to a year, but you can talk them into a every 3 month thing as well.
okay. In case you don't
But
like
they
it or
prefer
you want to
six
move
months to a
on.
year.
Okay. Wow.
Mhm.
So what about like I was reading that sometimes I don't know if it's sometimes all the times or whatever, but if you are in another country, you may not be able to purchase something because you're not a citizen. Is that true there as well?
Hmm. I don't know about that. I haven't had that kind of experience.
Okay.
We have a car. You can get a car. You just have to have a TIN number, which is something like a social security number.
Yeah, the tax ID.
Yeah. But as long as you have a passport, you can. Now you can't get a cell phone without having a local, only because you need someone that'll vouch for you. You need someone basically to sponsor you. So it's very wise to come here and find a local that you'll be able to trust. and
Mhm.
then help you get all those things like your the cell phone SIM card and things like that.
Okay, you said have a TIN. That's not a EIN, that's a TIN.
EIN.
Can you use your EIN?
That is beneficial to have the EIN
Okay,
because one of the main things they want, if you decide to get in the country in order to gain citizenships, you have to have some type of business. If you want to move from the United States to Tanzania, they prefer for you to have a business because they want to know what is it that you're going to bring that will be
right,
conducive to our country.
right.
You understand?
Yeah. What kind of commerce are you bringing to this country? Not just sucking up our resources. What are you bringing?
Exactly. And it's unfortunate because, you know, America having a bad reputation with countries in general, you know,
Yeah,
conquering, taking over. They're
right,
not quick to trust us.
right.
So again, that's where it goes to having a local that you can trust. And you know the Most High always will send you exactly who it is that you need. And
Yeah.
actually my husband, him and his friend is starting a nonprofit
Oh,
where the goal is to set it up to a point to where like how you're considering
mhm.
uh, we would talk to you, we would get to know you, you know, kind of vet you and give you the process and whatnot, and then also provide guidance and provide ways to help you with your transition. We can
Right.
help you with housing.
That's
We can
needed.
show you how to shop, things like that. So that's the goal. That's the end goal over here is to establish something that will help people come.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So with that being said, this nonprofit to help people come, like I said, that is a very needed service because I don't mean to laugh, giggle, or anything like that, but we know that people do not have the proper guidance or instruction. They have not done the research needed to make such a large transition, especially if you have a family trailing behind you. It can be quite the devastation. We actually moved to another state in the last few months. That was a huge transition. Last week we saw online where there's a whole family. They are now homeless and they believe in the Most High, but they are living like in the, I don't know what you call this. Like there's the freeway and there's like a little patch of land. They're living on this little patch of land in the middle of the freeway in Charlotte because they kind of lost everything because they packed up and moved to Africa. Now, he didn't even remember what country they had moved to, but they had sold
Mm.
everything, moved to Africa, sold his trucking business. Then he found out that he could not, something he couldn't do. Oh, he couldn't get a job because he wasn't a citizen or something. And so they ended up having to move right back to the United States, but they are now homeless, living in the
Oh,
middle of this freeway thing, trying to garden there, building tents and all this stuff. So it can be very devastating for a family or even a person if you move there without the proper education. So what you all are proposing is very important. Now, how do you plan on getting the word out that this is what you do? Because we see plenty of people doing this. What is going to be the difference in how you're handling things versus others that we might see?
well, my husband and his friends, they do have a platform.
Okay.
They the Unifying the Nation podcast is on YouTube, and
Oh,
then
okay.
also Royal Scepter of Yeshaya, excuse me.
Mm,
Royal Scepter of Yeshaya is also an affiliate, and then God Family Nation as well.
okay.
Um, they're all working together to provide it. So really everyone is just using their platform in
Okay.
order to help everybody transition, and then also providing video footage, putting different things out to show people
Mhm.
that it's not, you know, it's not people coming over here and struggling. There are even families over here that are thriving.
Mm,
I know of one business that is diaspora owned. It's called Snack and Play, where they have the locals like to play games, they like to play soccer. So they'll come in and play and then they eat. And they've been here for a few years and they're prospering. So the
okay.
main goal is coming with the mindset to build. And then another thing, which is one of the reasons why my husband and his friend has the Unifying the Nation podcast, the
Mm,
goal is to stop allowing doctrines to separate us,
mm.
because doctrines does separate us. Each and every person
Right.
has been taught different,
Mhm.
and that's just going to be the That's going to be this consensus. Each
Mhm.
and every person has been taught different, but it shouldn't stop us from being able to build and support each other, because at the same time, when things go down,
Mhm.
when the people come and they're coming snatch you up, they're not going to say, oh, well, you're with GFN, I'm not going to bother you. You're with this group, I'm not going to. No, if you're an Israelite and they know that you're Israelite, because they have profiles on all of us, because we got social media. So they know who we are.
Mhm.
And they know where to find us. When they come for us, it's not gonna be no respect of persons. They coming for all of God's children. Simple as that. So you got to learn how to depend
Yeah.
on each other regardless.
We have to prayerfully move forward in these things. Now, some stuff I'll say, I mean, I totally get what you're saying, but some stuff I'll say should separate us before we even get to that point. And I believe that it will happen by way of, the Holy Spirit, because there are some that you shouldn't be with, because there are some
That
people that are just straight up crazy, and I'm just gonna leave it.
I
There's some stuff. But for those that are like, they have the heart for Yah, they are truly trying to serve Him. They want to raise families, and I'll even say, they want to arrange marriages for their children, because they don't want their children out here just marrying any old kind of body. All right. Um, those that have a heart to do the Father's business, they will be together.
Mhm.
So what you
Even
yeah, go ahead.
Christians, not, and I apologize for cutting you off, but
Oh, you're
even I've noticed with in the Christian faith, now that Christians are coming out of the church and really studying and seeking the Most High for their own self,
mhm,
they are beginning to keep the laws. They are standing on the Father's business and making it clear, no, ladies, we have to dress modestly.
mhm.
No, brothers, we can't eat what we want. We can't do it. And it's a beautiful thing to see, because that's how you know it's not just a religious thing or anything like that. Because unfortunately, being
Mhm.
an Israelite has been watered down to religion and not lifestyle as well.
Oh,
So
please. I'm so past that title. I don't know what to do. Oh my goodness. You have a lot of people doing a lot of things. And these people are called by our Father's name. That's something that was impressed upon me, because he
mhm,
said, if those that are called by my name, will repent and turn from their ways. So how many people have Yah on their name? They have Yah on their name. They are called by his name. So those that are called by his name need to repent and turn from their wicked ways. But so many that are called by his name are not doing that. So we have to
exactly.
recognize that, oh my goodness, I didn't put the Father's name here in my name, and I'm still out here doing worldly things. I'm called by his name. Let me stop that. So it's very
Mhm.
important. And what you said about the Christians is so true. We all have them in our family, in our blood, a regular blood family, who have not transitioned into what we call truth. They are still over there looking at things saying, boy, why is this happening in the church? Now being skeptical of what is false doctrine. So we do have to have a place and space for them, not this cruel, crazy judgment as if we are better than them, because we have to
Yes.
continuously humble ourselves, because Yah decided to save us out of that mess. He didn't have to, he could have left us over there. So we do have to have a space for people that are ready to come in. So what you're saying is so important. Now let's move forward. Now, you said that you all might be moving back. Now, talk with us about that.
I am strongly considering moving back, but it's more so personal.
Okay.
It's more so for personal reasons.
Okay.
However, I will say that now that we're bringing that up, the more I think about it, the more I believe that wouldn't be conducive to my growth. Because even though I've been over here almost a year, it'll be a year in January,
Mhm.
and the spirit here is different. It says in Revelation that the daughter of Babylon, which we know today is the United States of America, is the habitation of every foul bird and every evil spirit.
Mhm.
So it's completely sinful over there, completely sinful.
Okay.
So by keeping us busy and keeping us distracted everywhere they can, whether it be eating, feeding our flesh with that gluttonous food that they have over there, or constantly working and to wear us out. When you come over here, the food is different. It actually is helping me lose weight. Because when I first came over here, I was overweight, and I was
Okay.
overweight quickly.
Okay.
And now that I'm here and I'm eating, and then it's a lot hotter, I'm losing weight really quickly. And then it also being here, and which is one of the reasons why I do believe that this is the wilderness, and this is the wilderness season that our people will need to come to, because hustling and bustling and being so busy, you don't really have time to see what strongholds and weak.
Uh-oh, sister, you froze. Okay. Well, she'll come back in a second, but I get exactly what she's saying. You don't have time to be worried about the day in and day out like we do in the United States, where you are so stressed out that you are trying to make $1 um, every single day. Like your life is overwhelmed with everything that you have to do. So you are not able to even have family time. And we know that to be true in this time. Just there is so much going on. She went out. She's going to come back in. But there is so much going on that you just technically don't have time for yourself. You don't have time for just relaxation because you are stressed out trying to make it happen every single day. And we know what that's like, whether it be you, yourself, your husband, or the both of you. And then you got to come home and deal with the children and be concerned with teaching them what they need to know. It can be a lot. But what the sister is saying is when you move over there, you don't have the same woes. Now, we know that the world is under the Babylonian system. A lot of people say that, America is Babylon, but the whole world is the Babylonian system. And you just have to be where the Most High wants you to be in the time. So you don't want to move foolishly. You don't want to move erroneously. You don't want to move in a way that is going to uh, cause a problem for you and your family. But in that, you just want to make sure that you are prayerfully seeking Him when it is on your heart to move somewhere else. Like I said, we had been thinking about Tanzania, which is Tanzania or Botswana, I want to say. And if you are thinking about any of those places, any place, a lot of people say Ghana, they say Nigeria, but you can start out doing simple research, of course, by watching a lot of YouTube, because there are a lot of people with testimony of what they've been through in this time of transition. If it was a bad mistake or not, but you can definitely start out with YouTube because YouTube will let all these different occurrences. So I think we have the sister back with us. Let's see here. Yeah, she should be back with us in a second. There she is.
Ooh,
Okay, sis.
I'm sorry.
No, listen, we understand. We understand you are in a place where things might be spotty sometimes. Listen, I'm here. Things are spotty sometimes. It's okay. So you
and my computer overheats to the battery. So I just, I put it in a way where the fan to be able to cool it down. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
You got an echo going. Do you have two systems on right now?
It should be.
Yeah, it's an echo right now.
Oh, goodness.
So like sometimes if I have my phone and the computer on, it'll create that echo. You don't have that.
Is it an echo still?
It is.
Oh boy. Okay. Hang on. I don't know why it's doing that.
Well, you want to go out and come in again? Just try that.
Yeah. Let's try that.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
yes, so we are prayerful because we know that this information needs to come through. So praise Yah. We thank you, Yah, for this day that you have given us the time to speak, for your people to come forth in the platform. So we are so thankful. Praise Yah for this time. We'll be back in a second.
All right. Is there echo?
You're good, sis. We hear you.
All right. Awesome. We're back.
So you were saying that this Babylonian system keeps you working, but there's a difference in the over there, it's different. You don't feel the same thing. Talk to us.
The spirit is completely different. And what I mean by that is you are in a way under the rod
Mhm,
being over here.
mhm,
I'm going to use myself as an example
mhm.
because one thing I am is transparent. I don't want anybody to ever think that I'm so self-righteous that I'm always looking at everybody else and I'm not looking at myself.
Praise God.
Okay.
Mhm,
So I found out, and which the Father had told me before I came over here, because I asked him to show me the things about myself that are displeasing. And
mm.
he said that I was traumatized and that I talk too much.
Oh, that's a result of your
Yeah.
trauma talking, right? Mm,
Mm-hmm.
I can
Yeah.
relate. I can relate.
So being here, and I consider it a blessing because for one, I'm still alive. I'm still waking up every day.
Yeah.
And for two, he's paying attention and he's also answering my prayers
Mm,
because there was a situation over here where I was having a conversation that I should not have been having.
mm,
I was having a conversation that I should not have been having, immediately exposed to
mm,
everybody in the community.
mm.
And even though this is not something that's just I can stop doing, this is a stronghold for me. It's difficult, and I'm still working on it. I'm still purging it out.
Right.
So, um, with that being said, if I noticed how the spirit in the house would be different, or things start happening paranormal, so to speak, because me operating in that malice
Mm,
is bringing in bringing spirits into the house.
mm, mm,
Bringing spirits into the house. And if it can't use me to stir up something in the house, it uses one of the children.
mm.
So, and we all have to be mindful because all of us are falling short in some kind of way.
Oh,
But
yeah.
there are certain things that the Father is not going to keep turning a blind eye to. You understand?
Mm, mm.
So coming over here, you have to carry yourself and operate in obedience to the scriptures, because anywhere you're not being obedient, you will be exposed.
Well, the word says he chastises those that he loves, right?
And
So,
that's the beauty of it. That's why
yeah.
it's not something that's a shame for me.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, thank you. And
Mhm,
I'm getting better at it. I feel myself getting better at it. And
mhm,
being here just in general does heal you. When
mm,
you get here, you don't, like I said, you get here, you leaving from America, you still sick. So you don't realize the things that you deal with. And then
mm.
when you get here and you see certain things happen, it just clicks to you like, wait, and now it's forcing you to lock into the Father, because you can get distracted over here too. It's more relaxed. You can go to the beach whenever you feel like it,
Mhm,
whatever you want. So you can get distracted here as well.
mhm.
It's very, very important to keep the Most High first, no matter what, because if you don't, you're gonna be bringing Babylon here.
Well, if you're not in practice here, then you're going to have a problem over there because um, it's a lifestyle in following the Most High Yah to change, to leave the world behind, no matter where you are. You have
Yeah,
to make the decision that I am into his pruning every day of my life, minute by minute, because again, he chastises those that he loves. So the correction is going to come. I mean, I had it last night, and I'll just say, like, there are, you know, I do watch television. Some people say I don't watch TV, or they try to act like they don't watch it. Listen, I do. I watch television. I watch certain television, but there is certain television that I should not watch. And so I was given information last night. And the thing is this: either you're going to be obedient or you're not. That's it. Point blank. Either you're going to be
point blank.
obedient or you're not. Because the television and anything else that we open up, like we pray these things off of our houses and we rebuke things and all that. But when you turn on a television, you are opening the doors to certain things coming in. And so you have to be mindful of those things that are coming in. And that was shared with me last night. And I was like, ooh, this is true. This is so true. And this is one of those things we're not mindful of. We just sit in front of these things, whether it be documentaries or whatever. You just know, like, okay, this is wicked. This is evil, even though it's true stuff that's happened. It's wicked and it's evil. And I do not want to open my home up to this. And again, you are in practice every single day of being in obedience.
Yes.
So if you don't
Mhm.
understand that, you will open not only yourself up, but your whole household up to these things that are going to infect and inflict your family members. More importantly, your children who are very vulnerable. Their spirits are so delicate. So you have to be mindful of that. Now, when you get in a place like Africa as a continent, we know as a continent, but we know that when we look at certain things over here, we know that the spirit realm is very prevalent over there.
It is very.
You have to be mindful, like this is play over here, but once you get over there, you better have your spirit in order and connect to the Most High Yah.
Yeah, and constantly cover yourself in prayer because listen, the attacks that come in, I used to get them in the States too, where I've had evil spirits call my phone, and I'm basically just draining my time because they're talking in circles. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, that's how you know it's a spirit, until you have to stand in your authority and say, listen, I don't know who sent you, but you have to get off of my phone. And they
Wow.
stop calling.
Yes. And you have no time for
They,
foolishness. Mm-mm.
we got
Wow.
to
That's
stand on
powerful.
business.
That's powerful. And see, this is where we go beyond the regular surface knowing. That's when the relationship of the Father comes in, because he's giving you wise discernment concerning everything. But are you listening? Because he's definitely speaking. That's what I always say. Are you listening? He's speaking. Are you listening? And are you obeying? Are you moving in what he's telling you to move in? Are you trying to do some of his stuff and some of your stuff? No, no. You have to be in complete obedience to him. Because if you can't do it over here, then over there you will get eaten alive. That's what I believe. That's what I believe.
Hmm.
That's what I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
If all in all, be
Mhm.
mindful too coming over here as well with shillings. If you don't learn some of the common Tanzanian phrases,
Okay.
they will know. Even if you do speak Swahili, if you speak a Swahili phrase, if you say it in a way that sounds like an American, they will know that you're American. They
Mhm.
are trained because they think that we're rich in America.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Something that costs 200 can go from 200 shillings to 2,000 that quick because they think you have a lot of money.
Wow. Well, I heard that they can just look at you and tell that you're American.
Yeah, we stick out like a sore thumb. The same way a foreigner sticks out to us in the United States. We know a foreigner immediately when they see one. It is the same thing. They know as soon as they look at you.
Don't matter that your skin is brown or whatever. They like, yeah, we smell it. She's not from here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow. So what do you do? Do you I mean, because that's something that happens. You get over there and the price goes up. So is there such thing as taking a guide with you so that, somebody that's from their country, they can be like, no, 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 you're not going to do this to them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
It helps to have someone from the diaspora and it helps to have a local. Like
Okay.
I was saying, you definitely want to have a local. They have something, Dada is just sister in Swahili,
Okay.
and Kaka is a brother in Swahili. The father usually will guide you to someone, and of course, always pray and ask the father if this is someone you can trust. And that they'll be genuine hearted and they will make sure that no harm comes to you. They'll make sure that the people don't take advantage of you.
Wow. Well, that's a blessing. And then it's like a building that's happening, because here you and your husband and your family put yourself out there as like a building block. You are the house being built on a rock. Like you are foundational for someone to come in. They know that they can trust what you're saying, because not only are you there, but you're from here. And not only are you from here and over there, but then you're also following the Father. So that serves as a great representation of someone being able to trust you and say, okay, yes, I know that they know what they're doing. Now, I'm sure they don't expect you to know everything, but you at least can teach what it is that you know and guide them into speaking with somebody else who knows what you don't know. So that is a great thing. Now, when you talked about losing weight and the food and all of that, what is the shopping like? Because over here oh, I need to be organic. I need to be organic. That's our house. We need to be organic. So is there some sort of different thing that goes on over there? Are you looking for organic food or what?
Well, everything here is organic.
Oh,
That's not, I think organic is maybe a European or a United States thing, because over here, majority of the produce is coming straight from the farm. The rice is coming straight from the field. And listen, it's not pretty like in the United States where you
okay.
can buy a bag of rice and all you have to do is rinse it a few times and cook it. No, you have to really clean it. You have holes mixed into it. One time I opened up my rice and there was bugs in it. So I
Oh,
had to clean around the bugs. Yeah, see, it's a completely different ball game. You gotta get out of that, everything being perfect type of thing.
right.
Over here, even when you buy rice, some people it's a plant over here that you can grind up and mix in your rice and stuff to keep the weevils out. But
Okay.
sometimes you can buy beans and they be infested with bugs.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes. Yeah, I learned that too. I'm like, okay, this is a bit of reality I wasn't quite prepared for.
Okay. Bugs in the I mean, see, the thing is I'm on a constant parasite search. So I know that there's already bugs in there. We just don't see them. There's worms in there. We just don't see them. But to actually see them, it's like, oh, okay. What do I do? Cook you
Yeah,
up? Are you protein? Um,
not
wow.
protein.
Okay. So are you making a garden for yourself?
Yes, it's just the land that we're on. They have areas that is very, very fertile and it has a lot of clay dirt,
Oh, yeah, like
but
here.
then they have exactly, and then they have other areas where the dirt is a lot more sandy, so certain things won't grow. Now, the cool thing that I noticed is corn grows wild over here.
Oh, wild corn. You can just go out there and pick it. That's amazing.
Corn, aloe vera, and papaya are some of the most common plants that grow wild here. You
Papaya.
can find the papaya tree. Oh, and the mango trees, the mango and
Oh,
coconut tree.
and banana, probably.
Definitely. It's fields full of banana trees.
Bananas or plantains or both?
Both. And actually, it's so many different varieties of banana. You got your yellow bananas that we used to. You got matoka bananas, which is a type of cooking banana, the banana that you cook like plantain. It's
Okay.
not sweet at all. It tastes like a potato.
Okay.
And then Desi banana is about the same too. It's just a bit smaller.
Wow. Okay. So, now tell me, what fruit have you found that we don't have but you really like?
Hmm. Mangoes. And
Okay.
I love the coconut water. The
Oh,
mangoes. Let's see. I'm trying to, baobab. Baobab fruit.
oh, okay. Is that from the
Do
baobab
your
tree?
research. Yes,
Okay.
yes. They actually have fruits. And it's just a little bit of meat on it. I've only had it like dried out. They kind of candy it. And
Okay.
then you have the seed in it.
Okay.
But baobab, which is actually one of I teach a soap class to my children's school. And
Okay.
one of the children corrected me. He said it's baobab. Miss
Oh,
India, it's baobab.
okay. It's baobab, not baobab. So now,
Those trees are good. Go ahead.
okay. So we talked about work before. Okay. Because it's kind of similar, like we're in South Carolina, so a lot of people bring New York money to South Carolina so they can live, better. So if you're over there in Tanzania, you can have some sort of income stream from the United States, but like we spoke about, you don't want to depend on the internet money because when the stuff shuts down, you're going to be poor. So
Exactly.
what are some things that you can do as a non-citizen in that country to make money that makes sense?
Teaching English.
Okay.
Teaching English that's anywhere in the world that you decide to move. Teaching English is always going to be a good thing to get into.
Mhm.
You can teach English, and then also you can do different types of things. Once you get to know the area and the type of things that the people like, you
Mhm.
can invest in different things like herb shops.
Oh,
Like I said, the snack and play place where you can actually, especially since the diaspora is moving over here and we have different things that we look for that may not be as accessible, that's
right.
a great market. That's a great market to look into. um it's really the possibility is endless, and whatever skills and gifts the Father has gave you, you want to kind of learn to trust him and trust in yourself and hone in on those gifts. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do myself. You know, I've been trying promoting the soap business since 2020. Since 2020, I've been making soap and
Yeah.
body care products. But I get discouraged or I get distracted and I have to start all over with the market and all that. So here I'm really just trying to perfect the skills and really give more time that I couldn't have given in the States to that and focus on that more. But I think that's what the Most High wants us to do, to learn, not only to depend on each other, which is why it's important for the diaspora to, even though the doctrines may be different or whatnot, if this, like you said, if the person is being led by the Holy Spirit and has a heart for the Father, we can put that things to the side and depend on each other in that way. Because we can, you know, the locals here, they are going to support each other regardless. And I think that it's time that we start to stand on that same principle. Regardless of what it might be, because some personal things might have happened, but that should not stop you from patronizing your brothers and sisters' business because that's their livelihood.
Right. But again, it starts over here. And just as abroad, we talk about Black business, being in business with Black people. We talk about all that, but I think it's time to prune that down as well. Find out who you can truly support and support them on a regular basis, basis. Like we bake vegan, gluten-free, mostly sugar-free, mostly organic cakes and pies. Well, my husband does that and I'm the marketer. So like if we are all into a healthier lifestyle and we are looking to press out and purge out the junk, it should be very easy for us to do these things because I do this and you do that. So it's just an even trade, you know? So we should definitely be looking for these things. I'm not looking to support just anybody and anything just because it's a Black owned business. I'm looking to press in and press on with people who are trying to promote us being healthier, mind, body, and spirit, you know? So that's what we need to get into. I really, really believe that. So sis, if we want to travel there just for a visit, wouldn't you recommend that before we just jumped in? Like, we can do a research over here, this, that, and other. Wouldn't you recommend that we come over there and visit first?
I highly recommend it because you could also prepare and get things set up to where you may, the transition will be a lot simpler versus having to come over here, pay for room and board and stuff like that. We could kind of, like I said, me and some of the people, we can guide you in a direction of looking for a house or whatever it is that you may have or whatever your interest is. I highly recommend coming for at least a month just to get an idea and get a feel if this is something that you want to do.
Okay, and how much? How long would you expect the flight would be from the United States? Just a ballpark, because you went from Ohio. No, you went from
Michigan.
Michigan. That's right. Michigan.
Yes.
Okay. How long was that flight?
That flight, I think, was 22 hours.
Okay, and that's
it's 22 hours, but it just depends on your route.
3 planes? How many?
2.
2 planes. Oh, that's not bad.
It was from DTW. I flew Delta. I was blessed to fly Delta because Delta was very comfortable for me.
Okay. DTW.
But I flew Delta, and not only did I fly Delta, from there we transferred to KLM, which is in Amsterdam. I think we came from Detroit to Amsterdam, and then from Amsterdam we had a stop in Kilimanjaro, which is also in Tanzania, and then I'm finally to Dar es Salaam.
Okay, and so one ticket was about what, 2,300?
Yeah, it all depends on not only your travel agent, but also your it also depends on oh man, it's breaking me down. Oh yes, the time that you schedule your flight. So you want to avoid the times where it's going to be a whole lot of holiday travel, summer flights and things like that. You kind of want to avoid. Maybe September, late August, early September, good time. And then even in the earlier months of the year, maybe February and March, somewhere in those areas.
Okay.
I would even say January if you're not afraid to fly in the winter.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
does it get winter there? Are you going to have winter or?
It depends on the area. If you higher up in the mountains, you will have cool weather, but it's reversed. That's the cool thing about over here in Africa.
Okay.
You guys is getting cool in the United States in certain areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is our summer months over here. It's very hot over here right now.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So here I come. Let me check the tickets.
But and even if
Ooh,
it does, like in Dar es Salaam, Dar es
uh,
Salaam is the warmest part of Tanzania.
okay.
So when the weather cools down in Dar es Salaam, it's gonna be probably in the low 70s, high 70s, low 80s, or even I've seen it get to about 70 degrees. So that's still pretty fair weather.
Oh,
But a
yeah.
sister, she traveled to another part, which is Morogoro, more countryer part of Tanzania. Dar es Salaam is more like the city, the
Okay.
inner city, the urban areas.
Uh-huh.
But then Morogoro is more like the countryside and it's closer to the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And she did tell me, she was like, it is cool here. It got as low as the 60s in Morogoro. So it really depends on what area you go to.
Okay. Okay. So now, with that being said, um, was the weather one of the things that made you choose the transition to that particular country? Because what is it that made you say Tanzania? Just that's where we going.
Again, I can't take credit for that. That was my husband's doing.
Okay.
Years ago, my husband and his friend was researching, and at first we were looking at Gambia.
Okay.
And Gambia has its perks, but something led them to look into Tanzania.
Okay.
And they did the research and figured it out and followed a couple of couples who have made the transition already and have everything established, and they settled on Tanzania.
Okay. So now that you are there, of course, you're not a citizen of there. Are you looking to have dual citizenship, or what does this look like? Because you are not a citizen of that place. How long can you stay there? What is your plan? Are you kind of just waiting and seeing? How does this work?
Well, here here in Tanzania, they do not offer dual citizenship at the moment. They
Okay.
don't offer dual citizenship at the moment. Now, from what I researched, I think that you can, as long as you learn the language, which the requirements to become a citizen, they're not very strict. The only thing that may be an issue is they require you to live in the country at least 10 years
Oh,
if you decide that you want to become a citizen. And that's a big commitment that could be an issue for some people.
right. But
Now,
they make you
you
get out?
say it again.
They make you get out because I know some countries like you can only be there a certain amount of time because you're not a citizen.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was about to get into. When you come here, they do give you a 1-year visa, but they want you to go in and out of to leave every 3 months because you have to renew your visa every 3 months, even though you have an annual visa. So brings me to the next point. If any person that may be in college or anything like that, it would be very beneficial to look into being an exchange student because they offer exchange programs for
Okay.
American students. And from what someone explained to me, just do your research on it and see, because I didn't get the chance to, but she suggested that I do the research. And a lot of the times you can get a 3-year visa, being an exchange student, and you won't have to leave out of the country because you're coming on a student visa. And also, depending on the area of work you're in, you can also see if you may qualify for certain work permits that'll help you transition as well. So
Oh,
definitely do your research.
okay. So when you say you got to leave the country every 3 months, you can go to another country that's nearby, right? You don't have to go back to the United States.
Yep, Uganda and Kenya are the next countries over.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So
Oh,
you could probably just go there and maybe stay for a time for a vacation and then come on back if you can afford to.
okay. And so when you leave every 3 months, is there a time period you have to be gone before you can come back in, or what?
That I'm not sure about. I think it might be maybe a week or a month or something. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But yeah, they're not the type of country that just allows anybody to come in. Now, for anyone that may see this in Jamaica, they do offer perks for citizens from Jamaica, or if you have a Jamaican passport,
Oh,
because the president of Tanzania has an agreement with the president, or whatever the leader
whatever
is
the
of
leader
Jamaica.
leader is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So they have an agreement. It's,
Uh-huh.
it's it's mostly difficult for Americans because of the reputation that Americans have for conquering and all of that type of stuff. So they don't trust us.
Right. Although we ain't conquered a doggone thing. But yeah, our people, we sitting back like everybody else. Okay,
Mhm.
okay, so you all have been there a year. So have you had to go and come as well? Have you done that?
Not exactly.
Okay, well, we'll zip it up then. But yeah, okay. So, yeah, my thing is, I think I did some research on like I want to say Thailand or there's some very, very lax countries that don't require all this different stuff, but they are not necessarily countries that I want to live in. Like, no, like I'm not interested. So you're right. You have to really be dedicated to your research before you make such a move. It's one thing to go on vacation. I think you should really plan for that as well. But to
Agreed.
actually
Agreed.
decide I'm going to pack up and move my family and prepare for a totally different lifestyle, you've got to really do some research. And I think some of us are just so um, fed up with everything in this country that we don't really key into what has to be done for that to happen. I know
Mhm.
myself, I'm a fly by the seat of my pants. And it's like, whatever happens, happens. Oh, well, can't do that in all situations. You can get yourself killed. So I think it's important what you're saying. I think it's important that um, people utilize the tools that they have, including people that are already in the area, like you and your family, reach out to you so that they can get more information and plan their stay. So, if they want to reach out to you so that they can get more information and become more familiar with life in Tanzania, how would they reach out to you?
Well, you could always contact me on Facebook. My name on Facebook is Yapah Gabar Rawach. Okay. YAPAHGABARRAWACH. And you can also contact me directly on WhatsApp at 255-748-364-648. And I will respond. Just let me know, hey, I was interested in getting more information on coming to Tanzania, and I'd be happy to help.
Now, what about an
I'll be
email
happy.
address?
My email address, that will be Yapah Organics, which is my business, my soap and body care business,
Mhm.
YAPAHORGANICS 777 at gmail.com.
Perfect. That's wonderful. So, sis, do you have any last words for the people before we let you get back to life? Like, wait, what time is it there?
It is actually, I'm still counting the time. Give me a second. It's 4:06.
4:06? Okay, it's 9:06 here in the AM in South Carolina. So I know you got plenty to do, dinner time and all that. So, do you have any last words for the people?
Take the leap of faith. And even if you decide it's not for you and don't want to stay here, just at least just come. Just
Mhm.
come and check it out and see how much better the environment is for the children, because these people are very, very community oriented and they love the children.
Wow.
And see how much it heals you, because it is definitely healing me. I haven't quite got where I need to be yet, but I'm definitely getting there.
Mm,
Is
mm.
check it out.
That's a blessing. Now, we're supposed to be letting you go, but I have so many questions. um, you mentioned the children going to school. So are you not
Yes.
homeschooling in this place?
No, I was at first, and I'm probably going to get back into it with my younger children. I have 4 children, two
Mhm,
older, two younger. The
mhm,
two older goes to a school which is actually diaspora owned. It's called Uhuru Community and Training Center.
mhm,
And it's a beautiful thing that they do with the children. The Americanized structure of learning is not there.
okay,
We do offer core classes such as, of course, math, reading, and all those things, but we also pay attention to the children's interests, and we nurture those parts of them. So it's not just them going to school and being taught to conform, but they're going to school and we're nurturing their abilities
mhm,
so we can set them up when they become older to
mhm.
be able to sustain something for themselves. And it is beautiful training. It's project-based learning, and we're a big family here at Uhuru.
Okay, well, that's understandable. I definitely want to check into that Uhuru. It sounds like something here in Atlanta that I know about. The largest Black homeschool organization. It sounds like that. But I would definitely love to find out that information. But if you would share with us the links to everything that you mentioned, your contact information, Uhuru the school, because that's important, and then also all of the YouTube information for your husband and everybody else's groups. That would be great. We want to put this information in the links so that we can make sure people have the best toolkit of information to build on the foundation of learning how to move out of this country. So
Yep.
we thank you, sister, for coming here and talking with us. We're so excited to stay connected with you. Congratulations on your move. Congratulations on your healing. And we pray that the Most High continues to bless you and your family and all that you do.
Absolutely. I really appreciate that. And I hope that what I bring out here is helpful to whoever is looking to make that transition. And again, contact me, myself, my husband, or anybody in the community. Will be happy to help you.
Yes, yes. Well, this has been CC on air on PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first. And we so thank you for joining us. We hope and pray that this information has been very, very beneficial to you and yours. If you decide that you want to move out of the country, it's time to start in your mind what that actually looks like. So our sister is available for you. So make sure you reach out to her. So we want you to have a blessed rest of the week, and we will see you again soon. Praise Yah.